Like, I do think this is one of those albums you could probably just put on the album. Yo, Pierre's Pierre, and welcome back to another reaction. Today we are doing E by Ecco2k. I just now realized the first time I'm looking at this album cover name, why is the cover a lowercase e but the name is an uppercase E? That's really unnerving. It's making me upset, actually. As you can see, I've got a couple songs from this album liked. I think these are probably like the most popular songs or something, songs my friends have shown me. With that being said, I don't think I know them very well. Like, I was looking at some of these names. I don't remember what they sound like. I'm sure it'll kind of start to ring a bell. But the rest of these I've never heard, and I haven't listened to it as a project. I think that's the most important part. Like with a lot of the Bladee and Echo stuff I've done so far, it's like, it's kind of unavoidable to like have never heard a song by these two. In this case, it's just Echo. Super excited for this because I think this is like the top requested project by Echo. I don't know if he has like other albums or like what that looks like. It looks like E is his only solo album. Other than that, I think he just drops singles and like projects with other people. Let me know before we start, what is your favorite song on this project? And why does Echo only have one album? Let's go. AAA Powerline. I'm excited to see how different this is from like the Bladee projects I've listened to. Oh, I like that. Ooh, that's cool. It's like low-key, it feels reversed. I don't know if it actually is. Here, let me listen again. Listen to his vocal. The way it like feels like it phases through, it feels like a reverse, but it might not actually be because it sounds like he's singing. It sounds like he's singing, like the words sound like they're in the right direction, but the tremolo, I guess, I don't know what you'd say, the way it flutters feels like it's reversed too. It's cool. Yeah, lyrically, I mean, it's not much, but I think it's like a vibe. I really like the pad. That's something, because I have the song on my likes, but I've never noticed that pad because I wasn't actively listening. Like I said, like I've heard a couple of these songs, as you can see, they're in my likes here, but I never really listened. I like the subtle glitch on the vocal there, like really subtle. Yeah, like you hear the stutter, not like the not the repetition. I mean, like that's obvious. I mean, it's like back seat of some car. Like there's kind of a little bit of a jitter there. Back seat of, it's really cool. It's because it's really subtle, but it adds a lot of texture. Cool song. I will say, it seems like this is the longest song on the album, because it's only a 30-minute, 23-second album. But that song was 4 minutes, so longest song on that album. Interesting song to have be long because it, like I mentioned, a lot of repetition. So typically songs with a lot of repetition, where like you're kind of doing the same thing over and over, they tend to end quicker because there's like not as much to explore. But that song was long, so I find that interesting. I like it. I mean, I had it in my likes for a reason. Like at one point in time, I must have liked. I thought like, let me add that to my likes. I must have heard it on like the Spotify DJ. Low key, that Spotify DJ is where I get a lot of music nowadays. But it didn't wow me in any way. Like I feel like it was more like catching a vibe and like getting into that flow state with a song where you're kind of like just vibing with it. You don't need to pay attention to the lyrics. That's like one less thing to care about as like a listener. So it makes it more of like an experience of like feeling. I think the pad helped with that too. I think my favorite two elements of that song were the pad and then the backing vocals he did that were like higher in the register and more like ethereal, because his main vocal was more like flowing, less like dramatic, I guess. With that being said, I think I'd give AAA Powerline like 7.7, not 6, 7. It was good, but yeah, like I said, it wasn't anything that kind of blew me away. I feel like it could have been fleshed out more, especially with the time he had on that track. I think there could have been a few more ideas. Going into song number 2, Peroxide. Another one I have in my likes, and I recognize the name. I feel like, yeah, it looks like it's the most popular song on the album. Let's hear. Really, really low sub. Ooh, I've never noticed that. Almost sounds like the opening of a video game console. An old video game console. This one goes at the bus stop, right? Ooh, the arpeggio. Aw, bro, he's gotta. I'm sorry. He's gotta be fruity. Let me know in the comments. Is Ecco2k confirmed? I promise I'm not a weird parasocial fan. Is Ecco2k confirmed? Like not straight? Cause bro, I see clips of him like dressing really crazy. Obviously, he like. I mean, the way I first heard of him like years ago was like his kind of like girl voice he does on the music, which is like you don't have to be, you know, to do that. I'm not saying he is or has to be. It's up, like not up to him, I guess. But I'm just like, bro, there's no way you're like, trust me, it gets so much worse, and you're not like a little like, you know. Anyway, I like it. I thought it was cute. Really cool so far though. Wow. Yeah, like this is why we do these reactions, guys, because even though I have this song on my likes, I've genuinely never sat down with headphones on and like listened to this music. And maybe that's something you shouldn't admit as someone who like claims to like music, but I'm glad I didn't, because now I get to experience it here on a proper breakdown of the whole album, because I'm noticing things I never heard in this song. Like I think this goes for a lot of people, but like your first listen, unless you're actively doing what I'm doing like on this channel, which is like listening more deeply, I think your first listen in passing of a song where like you have no expectations or it just comes on in the background is mostly just like the vocal or the really obvious elements. But when you try to go deeper, like I have been on this channel or right now, for example, revisiting this song, even though I've heard it before, I'm like, it's a whole new experience. So I'm noticing things other than just like the main vocal, like that aren't even like hidden necessarily, just they don't grab your ear immediately, at least for me. Maybe it was like the headphones I was wearing or whatever, but like the arpeggios, it's such a full beat, like very nicely mixed, super hard left pan on the clap, and I find that like bass is an interesting texture. There's that sub again. Yeah, back into this like underwater area. There's this song I'm thinking of. Baby, baby, I'm so fine, and you know that you're on my mind. Guys, this took me so fucking long to find. Even in the beginning of the song, I was reminded of that same song, so there's got to be one element that's really reminding me of it. I think just that. Where was I? Cool. Yeah. I didn't really remember that song sounding like that too much. Okay, that was Peroxide, the most popular song on this album. I'd probably give that like an 8.3. It was really good. I think there were like many cool elements of that. I liked the arpeggios. I liked the beat, the whole way it was mixed. It felt really dreamy. I think that's kind of a staple of these guys' music. I always say these guys because Bladee and Ecco2k are kind of like a package deal to me, even when one of them's missing. I just mean like they both kind of have some similarities in their music. So they both share that like that weird dreamy aesthetic, I think. Also the interesting juxtaposition of like his really playful, like you could say feminine vocal, and then like some of the lyrics are pretty like morbid, like chop off his body parts or whatever, but like the voice he says it in is so like playful and joyful and like innocent sounding too. That's I think I'd say innocent rather than feminine. I mean, he has a feminine voice, but it's not really related to like what I'm talking about. I thought it was a good song. I think maybe I was expecting a little more change after that. We went through that underwater transition mid-song. I think I was expecting like a bit of a different direction after that. We kind of just returned to the initial part. I'm sure there were a couple of changes, but it felt pretty similar. Let's move on to song number 3, Fragile. This formant altered version of him, I think it's him that keeps saying things. Also been on every track so far. This sounds different so far. This is really, I like this a lot, guys. I don't even want to pause it. I want to turn it up again. Fuck, bro. This never happens. Oh, okay. I gotta pause it here. Really, really, really digging this more intimate feel on this track. Super stripped back, I guess, compared to like the previous couple songs, and also what I've kind of grown used to from Ecco, which is like him over these beats, high energy beats with like the, you know, classic 16th notes, hi-hats, claps, the whole wazoo, 808s and everything. This feels a lot more like, I don't want to say R&B adjacent, or I don't want to say like strictly R&B. I feel like it's far removed from that, but there's like somewhat of a relation there, I feel like, where it's really smooth, really vibey, really like you kind of get in a groove with it. But what stuck out the most to me, you know, aside from the overall vibe, which I like, is his lyricism on this is so cool. Like so nice. I feel like I haven't heard that from him. Like his lyrics are usually passable. I've never heard a bar by him where I'm like, oh, what the fuck was that? So it's clearly not a problem. This just sticks out as being really good. Like every line, there was a part where here I'll find it. Yeah, like that flow from rhyming gasoline to kerosene to carefully, then into the next bar. You start the next bar with sparkly. It's like a transition into your next rhyme, because then it's about coming over, you know, rhyme come with over, broken roses, like the O rhyme. So he was like, you know, rhyming the A, whatever, but then starting the B with the rhyme of the A it's clever. Like, I'm sure it's not groundbreaking, it worked so well, especially with the flow. He's going like, he's really enunciating each syllable of each word, so it really sounds fucking great. When it just works, bro. He's really flowing on it. I really like it. Every line is like some interesting visual line, right? Like smell the roses, skin, bone, sun, lotion, like all things you can fucking see and touch and feel. No like braggadocious, grandeur rhyme that he's kind of just like throwing out there to be like a throwaway bar. I feel like every line on the song so far has been kind of like serving its purpose and setting the scene, and I've really liked that so far. Let's go back into it. Kind of reminds me of 070 Shake, who I'm not a huge fan of, but I used to listen to when they were in like On My Block soundtrack, and there's a good song on that soundtrack. Those of you who know. Cool beat pause there. I'm missing something. This song is so good, man. Speaking of Swedish or something at the end here? I'm not sure. I don't know what Swedish words look like, to be honest with you. Actually, that looks like a Swedish accent marker. Yeah, that was terrific. That was a great song. Fragile. Really liked it. Also just realized that name goes perfectly with this song. It felt so fragile. It felt so intimate. And that's something I think I've liked a lot. Whenever I encounter it on a Blade and Echo project or a Blade project, now on this Echo project, it's like what those moments of intimacy. I'm not sure if it's because they're so few and far between, but in them being few and far between, it feels very special when you do get them. So I'm not sure if this album is going to take a more intimate, fragile tone from here on, but this song was absolutely great. I think I'd probably give that like an 8.8. That was a very, very good song. Loved the intimacy, loved the lyricism, loved the instrumental. Just a good song. Let's head into Bliss Fields, which has 12,000 listens. I think this is 22 seconds. We're just going to let it go. It's probably an interlude.
I feel like I'm flying and sinking at the same time. Like I'm being pulled from below and from above. In every direction at once.
Okay. A little insight into his mind there. Never heard him speak, by the way. Now into Fruit Bleed Juice. Yeah, like already more happening sonically in this song than on a Fragile. Saying jizz? Okay. Sweet like jizz would be fucking crazy. So his voice is really nice, like I've never listened to him speak, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but this project, I'm talking over the whole song, sorry guys, I'm still listening. Yeah, like another kind of interlude there. Obviously more musical, but that was good. I mean, I liked it. I don't know necessarily how to rate that. I probably won't rate that. I know some people want me to rate like the interludes, but I just don't. I don't want to give it like a poor rating just for being short and kind of different. As I was saying, I didn't mean to talk over the whole song. I didn't really realize it was a very short song. I thought I was kind of just talking over a part of it. I was still listening, but haven't heard him speak before this, and like I don't think I've really noticed his voice as much because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this project, his vocal is more clear. Like it's less like the effect chain maybe isn't as long, or it's mixed a little more in the front, more on the top, you know what I mean? It feels like I can hear him a lot better, and so I'm noticing like he's got a really nice voice. He's got a great delivery. His like, well, I don't want to say this in an offensive way, but like his accent isn't like too much, if you know what I mean. Like it's almost like barely noticeable sometimes, but even when you can notice his accent, it's like it's kind of cool. It's CC. Don't know if that means something. Carbon copy, perhaps. Let's go. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I want to go and check. I think it'll take too long, but I think that formant shifted, kind of pitch shifted too, I think. Um Vocal, I think it's just been the same phrase on every track. I thought it was a different one when I first noticed that not afraid of anything. I thought that like the previous one had been different, but now it's been like 4 tracks in a row where I think it's just been I'm not afraid of anything or whatever. The same line each time. Really cool. I thought I was going to dislike that. I actually ended up liking it. And I mean, like, not from before I listened to it, I thought I was going to dislike it, but like midway through, I was like, ooh, this is kind of weird. But I ended up kind of grooving with it by the end there, where there was like kind of a hook, I guess you could say. Like, I think it was on a Bladee project, actually. It's like when you're not used to something, you don't know what to expect. It's kind of weird, maybe the first listen, and you end up not liking that part. But when you return to that part, it's like you can kind of vibe with it since you've heard it before. Even that little experience with something can make you like it more the second time you hear it, which I think was the case on this. I thought, even at the part where I thought I wouldn't like it as much, I did have positive things I was thinking about it. I thought that for all the credit people give like underground rappers these days, I don't hear people talk about how experimental Ecco2k is. And I think maybe I'm answering my own question here, but I want to know if you guys did Ecco, like what role does Ecco have in producing his own stuff? I asked about Bladee, and you guys informed me that like he kind of has like a gang of producers he's always working with. Is it the same for Ecco? Because I know they're part of like a collective. But like from my perspective, like I respect the hell out of people who produce their own music. I still respect these guys if they don't. But when I hear something like this, it reminds me of a self-prod, like a self-produced body of work, because it's so, I don't know, the way the artist, like the singer, is working with the production is so kind of hand in hand. Like it's so closely related that like to give that up to another person would kind of take a lot of, I don't know, you'd give a lot of creative freedom away, in my opinion. So, I mean, I kind of am expecting him to not have a lot to do with the production, and perhaps that's why he doesn't get credit for being experimental, because it's kind of like not really him doing the experimenting. But in any case, if we're not speaking about responsibility for who's doing the experimenting, this song was pretty experimental. I really liked it. Lots of like chops and stuff, lots of cool things going on with the percussion. And overall, like the lyrics on this have been so good compared to what I'm used to from Bladee. No shade to Bladee. Hey, no shade to Bladee. This has been a lot more reflexive and kind of deep, I guess. Like he's not out here like spitting super crazy rhymes about philosophy and shit, but he's making it kind of simple. But the simple is speaking a lot more than, it seems, I guess. Like, energy is eternal, fire. That's fucking fire, bro. And it's facts. It's just facts. This song, without going into like a lyric breakdown, I think he mentioned like chains and locks and breaking the lock or replacing the lock, breaking the rule, changing that. I was getting a lot of like cyclical vibes of like about a cycle and how things are kind of set in place. Even energy is eternal kind of gives that like view of an eternity sign, right? So like the chains in my view are like things that are set in stone or things that have to be how they have to be. And it sounds like Ecco is kind of simultaneously saying energy is eternal, which I think is a positive, like kind of a positive thing to say, like a positive affirmation, I guess, but simultaneously saying that and also saying like he's breaking the cycles he doesn't want to be a part of. So even if energy is eternal, he kind of chooses where to put that energy, and he doesn't have to subscribe to like the chains or the rules. Like I think he said I broke the rule, like literally, and then something about replacing the lock on a chain. It was cool. Yeah, lots of vibes of cycles and rules, and you know what you can and can't do, and how things are like set in stone. Thought it was really cool on such a short song too. Really nice. Rating. Ooh, that's tough. I think I'd give it honestly 7 point. 7 point. I'm going like leaning 7.7 to 7.8. Let's just go 7.7. I think it might grow on me. I'm gonna add it to my likes. Let's head into Calcium, which I have in my like songs. Can't remember what it sounds like. Let's go. Oh, pretty. He's a really pretty musician. And I don't know. Let me know if any of you guys feel the same way. I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit of a pessimistic Perry here. Pessimistic Perry. I feel a little bit sad to think I'm speaking like I don't know. I don't know, but like I think based on what you guys have told me about Bladee and him, I don't think he produced any of this music himself. But it does make me a little sad inside, because like he's making beautiful music, and it's like I always just think of that episode of Family Guy where like Stewie finds out, I think it's Family Guy, Stewie finds out that like pop stars don't write their own music. That was literally like I found out through that Family Guy episode when I was like 8 or whatever, whenever that came out. I didn't know that either until I watched that episode, and now it's like all I think about. Like, you're telling me this guy, you know, maybe he wrote the song. I think he probably wrote the song at the very least. Fuck, please tell me he wrote the song. But he didn't produce the music, I don't think. It makes me a little sad. It's kind of a little bit of a tangent. Not much you can do about it. Because it feels emotional, and like when I think he didn't have a really big part in making like the instrumental or anything like that, it makes me a bit sad. That reminds me of I was listening to my recent reaction, Ice Dancer. I think Bladee shouts out Ecco2k on a song, and he says like Ecco2k something, and like I pointed it out because I was like, that's weird. Like he didn't say Ecco2k, it was like Ecco2k, but that sounds just like this. Interesting. Cold Ice Dancer reference.
Cross my mind, what try it happens all the time.
There it is again. This is a really good song. I don't think I've given this song the credit it deserves until now.
I'm unraveling and I'm panicking like I'm paper thin, and now I'm telling me please keep me calcium. I think I'm fracturing, I need bandaging. Don't take me back again. I feel like Marilyn, but I'm not acting again. This might be the end, I think it might be. I'm seeing evil men, am I imagining them? I think I might be. I've been rolling up some boat. Duplicate crystals, kiss my nose. Duplicate crystals, kiss my nose. Duplicate crystals, kiss my nose. Baby, kiss me through the phone.
Yeah, that I don't know what you call that. It's kind of hard for me to hear, but the dun 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 sounds like a bass or some sort of stringed instrument. Adds a lot of texture. Love it. Really love it. Add some bounce to it beyond just the kick. My hair is fucking chopped today, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry. It's really long here. I don't know why. Cool glitch. Well, there's like a... Sounds like in the distance people are like stomping. Or like upstairs or something. Cool. This is from Bliss Fields, right? He put that on there because he wanted you guys to hear that, and he's like, I know that fucking Bliss Fields is only gonna get 12K views, so I'll put it on the most popular song, or one of the most popular songs. So you have to hear it. He's trying to put you on. Calcium, that shit was fire. That's probably my favorite so far. Actually, Fragile was really good. I think I'd give this like an 8.6. It was close. Really, really good. A song I've heard before, but never given a proper listen, never given its credit, never given its due. Really liked it. Thought the bounce there the whole time was really fucking nice. Cool lyrics again, like random bars that just kind of hit home. And as always, imagery on point. Let's head into Sugar and Diesel, which is a weird name. Let's see why it's called that. Again with the juice. That little I don't even call it like that toy sounding instrument, like maybe like a xylophone or marimba or whatever. It's panning left to right very smoothly. I don't know why, but it's giving me like Be Nice to Me energy. So I'm not sure if anyone else feels that way. That sounds like a vampire dying. That's really interesting. God play tricks on me. God is like that, like, okay, I might be looking too far into this. Let me know if I am or not in the comments. But like the way that's worded, and you know, maybe this is from like an ESL guy, I don't know. But you'd think they'd just correct the lyrics on here if he just said something that was like, you know, grammatically incorrect. But God play tricks on me is like as if God is a species, right? Like you know, for example, I was walking down the road and fish started playing tricks on me. Like God play tricks on me, it means like multiple God. Like a god was a species, right? Because otherwise it would be gods if you're just talking about like multiple gods, or God plays tricks on me. But it's God play tricks on me as if it's like there's so many of them that they're like a species. Really fucking interesting, if intentional. If not, we just went on a tangent for no reason. What the fuck is happening with my hair, bro? Alright, I really like that song. Sorry for the crash out. I don't know if I'm gonna cut that out or not. If you saw a clip of me going, what the fuck is wrong with my hair? You know why. If you're not, I'm gonna cut that part out too, so it looks like, you know, like fucking Diavallo's stand. Like there's just gonna be gaps, bro. Fuck! And you won't know why. That was Diesel, Sugar and Diesel. I liked it. I'm gonna add it to my likes. So investing early, it's one of those ones I can tell I think it's gonna grow on me. Yeah, I liked the lyrics. I was kind of getting like zoning in and out of the lyrics, so I didn't get like the full picture, but it felt really deep again. Like I think he's definitely on a deeper note than he was on the duo album Crest. So I'm really liking that. I'm really digging that. I think I'd give Sugar and Diesel like an 8.1. Don't ask. Let's go. You're telling me to ask, but it's called Don't Ask, though. Any god. I'm telling you guys, I was cooking. Create someone. Interesting. Won't you ask someone to create someone? Won't you ask? I wonder who he's speaking to. Cause like, who am I to ask God to create someone for you? Why don't you ask God? Like he said, I'll ask, I'll pray to any god. But then he says, won't you ask? Ask someone to create someone, probably. Ask someone to hold my heart. Really interesting. Sounds pretty lonely. I like that song. I don't think I'd really revisit it too much. Just a little bit too linear for me. Or one-noted for me. I'd probably give it like a 7.5 because it wasn't bad by any means. Like so far, this album's been really good. Just wasn't the best for me. Security.
Something so beautiful can taste so foul, so foul. Something beautiful can taste so
Like that vocal doubling.
Something beautiful can seem so worthless, worthless, worthless.
That's. I was just about to talk about the texture on that synth. Oh fuck. Great texture on all of these elements of the song. All these layers. It's like a cool grit to everything. Sounds like maybe a vocal chop or a vocal sample being played as a MIDI, maybe like really high and really quiet. It sounds like maybe it's layered with that kind of plucky synth. You can kind of hear the breathiness in it.
I know I'll never be perfect. 6 in the morning, 1 o'clock, 2 a.m. I don't recognize myself now. Every time I close my eyes, I see the corpses. Every time I look in the mirror, I see monsters. 1 o'clock, 2 a.m.
It's fucking fire, bro. This is why I don't really like listening to lyrics, or excuse me, this is why I don't really like why I don't really like reading lyrics all the time, because this is too fast. I'd just be sitting there like this. It wouldn't be as fun. I'm still hearing them, but I get to actually listen. That's fire, bro. That's fucking fire. This is a great album. This is a great album. So it feels so personal. Like I just got chills. It feels like he's talking to me. Like I hate to be that parasocial guy. I'm not actually saying he is. Okay, I hope that was clear. But it feels so personal, like on a personal level. Like it feels like he's speaking to the listener instead of just saying shit to say shit. It feels like, I don't know, everything's addressed to someone. Everything's like, would you ask for me? You know, if you had one wish, what would you wish for? Like it's such a it makes you think. It makes you, so the album feels introspective. Like I said, it feels reflexive, but it feels like it's asking us to think as well. And I really like that. I really like that. Feels like a very personal, intimate connection between the listener and him. It feels like he's showing you his art.
2 a.m. to 6 in the morning. I can hear my thoughts over this running water. Anytime I look in the mirror,
I want to catch what he said there. I can hear my thoughts, so something about water? I can hear my thoughts over this running water.
thoughts over this running water.
Over this one.
Anytime I look in the mirror, I feel nauseous. Every time I look in the mirror, I see myself. Would you ask if you had one wish? If you could choose only one thing to fix? If you had the chance, would you change something? You could lose yourself, would you take that risk? Or would you ask if you had one wish? If you could choose only one thing to fix? If you had the chance, would you change something?
Back to that.
'Cause
You know those... I hate to interrupt it at the cool climax. You know those videos where they clean your brain with the sound? It's like, and it'll show like marbles and like soap and shit. That's dead ass what that sounds like. They must have stolen that from this album because this is like 2019, right? Like, listen to this. I'll put one on the screen. Yeah, definitely hear that like vocal sample layered, maybe integrated with it. And the bit crushed vocal near the end. That was great. I think, guys, that was my favorite song. Anyone out there who said their favorite song at the beginning of the video was Time. Me and you are forever linked. If you're watching this on the premiere and this is your favorite, what the fuck is up? Welcome to the premiere. Subscribe. No, that was fire. That was so good. I mean, I touched on it a lot. Wait, I forgot to rank security? Are you fucking in the ass? Okay, what does security sound like? Hold on. Oh, that was security. I'm fucking stupid. Okay. It just skipped to the next song. Security. Of course that was security. He goes, security, security, right in the middle of it. Security. What would you change if you had one thing to change? What would you fix? Security. I would give that an 8. Nope, 9. The first 9 on the channel for an Ecco2k or Blade project. It's official. That's the best song I've heard by either of those gentlemen. But this time it's just Echo, so Blade, you've got some catching up to do, I'm not gonna lie. That was very good. Also, I need to fact check myself. I don't know if I've actually never given either of them a 9. I just don't think I have. I think I'm near like 8.6 to like 8.9 territory. I don't think I've given a 9. That was fire. Absolutely amazing. Love the sort of hyper pop, digipop like arpeggios. Really cool layering, really cool what I think is that vocal that's like integrated or layered with that arpeggio. Cool way, like I said, the brain cleaning ASMR. Ahead of its time for real. Love the kind of drop, if you want to call it that. I think it happened twice. Yeah, after the cleaning, it goes security. And then all of a sudden we get a bright kind of synth. I personally was hoping it would go a little bit bigger there. Because that does feel like such a climax to me, especially the second time around. I'm a big fan of when bands or musicians or artists do like the kind of big first chorus but massive second chorus. I don't think they did that here, but that's a small thing. Like, that's a personal preference. I just love going from small to like weird, and then it's like just fire. Rick and Morty edit type shit. Let's go to Time. Guitar. Okay, that was cool. The whole kind of like telephone vocal, high energy. I don't want to say Chance the Rapper, but like I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my head. It's not really like I don't know. I can't have fun anymore. You guys are gonna kill me. You know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. Actually, you probably don't know what I mean. It just doesn't feel like it was him. It doesn't feel like Echo. I mean, at least in my opinion, as someone who doesn't really know too much about Echo, like if I wanted to hear something like that, I probably wouldn't come listen to Echo. With that being said, he actually did quite a good job at it. I'm just not a big fan of that music. I'd probably give that like a 7. It wasn't bad by any means. I was considering even liking it just to try to give it a better chance. I just don't really think that type of music's for me. Heading to the last song, Blue Eyes. Short one, by the way.
Blue skies, 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 blue skies. All my friends got blue eyes. 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 All of the rest, all of the rest, no one left, all of the rest are gone left. All left, no one left, all of the rest is gone left. Everybody else is gone and left. Everybody else is gone and left. Everybody else, no one.
All right, that was Blue Eyes, and that was E by Ecco2k. Let's get Blue Eyes out of the way before we talk about the album. I actually think that was quite a cool song. I don't know how to rate it. It was so weird. Like you had the screams of the damned in in the second half of the song, I think. And then all my friends have blue eyes, all the rest left. Like if those who didn't left. Like I don't know what that means, to be honest. Maybe you could drop the lore in the comments. Like, is that actually just like what he's saying, or like what does that fucking mean? What does all my friends have blue eyes and the ones who didn't left mean? Like, there has to be a deeper meaning there. I don't know it. I really dug the outro of that outro. I think it was like guitar, but with hella effects on it, playing like this kind of like one note at a time, really emotional almost. It did feel like an outro, but I hate to do it, guys, but if you're new to the channel, I'm like the #1 Jane Remover fan in the world. There's like 50 million people who think they're the #1 Jane Remover fan. Some shit you do on Frailty, right? Like you have a hella long outro with something like that, and it kind of builds and sways and moves. Anyway, that is to say, I thought it was really cool because that's a huge compliment for me because I love Frailty. But this just feels really pretty to me for some reason. And I kind of wish it would have went for a little longer. Like a minute 33 for an outro is pretty criminal to me because you're not even letting me kind of feel the moment, in my opinion. With that being said, for a minute 33, it did very well. I just wish it was longer than a minute 33. How to rate it, I really don't fucking know. I'd probably give it like a 7.3. Could have been a lot higher if it was a lot longer. That was E. I really liked this album. I'm actually very impressed. I thought this was kind of going to be like, I don't want to say I was too confident going in with what I was going to think about this, but my expectation, I guess, was kind of low. Like, I thought it was going to be what I usually find with, like, Blade's albums and Echo's albums. Because, like, I'm pairing them together. I hope you guys get why I'm pairing them together. Like, I don't think they're the same person, but they're often on each other's music, and they come from, like, the same collective. But what I often find with Blade's albums, for example, and Crest, so Blade and Echo's album, was, like, you kind of go in, and there's, like, a lot of tracks, and they're all pretty okay. There's a couple standouts. For this, I felt like it was more consistent. Like, let's see. So our highest rating is the 9 because that was a standout track. Lowest is a 7. Like, that's a pretty good fucking average. So I was pleasantly surprised by the consistency. Even if the sound wasn't consistent, the quality was consistent. I think it was, every song on here was pretty good. Like, I do think this is one of those albums you could probably just put on the album. You know, you don't have to pick singles from the album to put on. You can just put the whole thing on if you really want. Security, my number 1, but Fragile, like that stripped back emotional feel, just, I think it resonates with me, especially from a singer like him, who I think has a beautiful voice that I didn't know had a beautiful voice, because it's always kind of hidden underneath a lot of layers and a lot of effects. E, thought it was great. I don't know how I'd stack it up against like Blade's stuff. I think Exeter's my favorite Bladee project I've listened to. Like I come back to those songs pretty often, and it's a shorter one too, which is impressive because like you have less chances to make a hit, but they still somehow did. But this I'd say is probably up there. Might be better than all of the Bladee projects I've listened to thus far. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Let me know what you thought of the reaction, what you think of this album, and what you want to see next. Leave a comment with anything in the whole world. I love to read them. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.